all weekend.
Yeah. This is the part everyone's tuned in for.
Yeah, Brisbane was special, bro. Like we landed Friday morning Friday Arvo, and then I was just like trying my best to get the guys together. I'm like, I just need to see them visually, like in person. Like they all send their photos and shit. I'm like, I need to get like eyes on these guys.
Yeah.
So I managed to get eyes on 2 of them. So I trained with Jackson. Like he just did a pump session, and I actually got after it because I was like, this is probably the only opportunity I'm going to train all weekend.
Yeah.
And then Jem met us at the gym. She went to every Kmart within like a 20-meter radius of the CBD just to buy like 4-kilo dumbbells so we could pump up backstage.
That's
so
awesome.
She's fucking tanned.
Yeah.
And she's like, got this bag, and it's like heavy as fuck. She's like, I'm fucking sweating. I've got the dumbbells though. I was like, fuck, that's just like commitment on a whole new level. Like I was going to go get them, but she's like, I'll just go get them.
Yeah.
So she must have been like just a little bit bored and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, the World Gym we went to had a posing room, which was perfect. And it was big enough for all of us to go in it. And then, like once they started running through, I was like, all right, my anxiety started to drop because I was a bit worried about like the flying.
Yeah.
Because Sydney, like Melbourne, they were ready, but they weren't as crisp as I knew they would be at Nationals. And like, so, and then Sydney, they both, like one drove and then Jackson lives there.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, there's no...
No
issues with the flying.
Yeah.
So I was just a little concerned about the flying. I mean, they both came in early just to have another day.
Yeah.
And then, I tried a different approach with Jackson this time, which was still a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, I was confident because, like, it was a different approach, but we did half of the approach the week before. It's just I added on a really big carb up, like the preceding 2 days. So I was a bit like, he's fucking, I've pulled him down real hard this week. Like he could be like stringy and flat and, just a bit, kind of look a bit dead. And then, like once he started rolling through his poses and we played around. So I was, fuck man, my mind was going places. So I was like, how can I pump this dude up? I don't have carbs. I don't it's like, do I load him with some fat? Do I use some hydration and carb up kind of formulas that I know will work? And then I was just like, yes. Yeah. So I had this idea to use a bit of glycerol and use, I just made this fucking concoction because I was just like, if I have this takes water into the cell. If I have this takes this into that. If I have this, it vasodilates the blood vessels. So I said to Jackson, I'm like, we're going to make this drink and I need you to go buy this supplement. Yeah. And then we're just going to make it and we're going to fuck around and find out. Yeah. And he's like, cool. Because I was like, if it doesn't work on the Friday, we just won't use it. Yeah. And it wasn't going to, because it wasn't like a huge carb up. He couldn't spill. Yeah. It was just water. And even then, I was like, can't fuck it up. Yeah. So, we're at his house, like at his place. We've got this fucking like A4 sheet of paper that has like all of the direction, like just the rules of like staying there. Yeah. Made into like a funnel. We're fucking pouring this shit in. He's got scales and we're fucking measuring shit. It was pretty fun, man. I was having a good time. So then, we had that, went to the gym and I was just like, how's the pump, whatever. And then when we went into the posing, like he was just so full, but like real crisp. Yeah. So the feedback was good. So that made me really confident. And then, when Gemma came, I wasn't nervous, but we did the same protocol back to back. And like, I knew, like, I was confident it was going to work, but it's just like, if you do, I just didn't know how you could do it 2 weeks in a row and still land the same way. But she looked fantastic. So I was like, all right, I've done everything I can for these two. Yep. That's it. Yep. It's game day.
So one come in later?
One come in later. I thought he would have been there earlier. I must have just got mistaken with who landed where. Yep. So he's like, oh yeah. So then that day on the Friday, so Jackson's been there since Thursday, yeah? Mm-hmm. And JT messages me and he's like, I've just flown in and I've just gone to Rego. And I'm like, Rego? I said, what's that for? And I go, do you mean for the show? And he goes, yeah. And I said to Jackson, I'm sitting right next to him. I've been with him all fucking day. And I go, did you go to Rego? And he goes, no, what do you mean? And I was like, Vaughn's at Rego, bro. So he reads the message and it says, all athletes have to register between this time and this time, right? So his face, instantly, I'm like, all right, I'm going to just calm this dude. And I said, sweet, I'll message one of the guys that run the Fed And I was like, it's fine, man. You're not the first person to.
Yeah.
So, no. So what we did, I messaged him and then he's like, we'll just go there. So we walked to the convention center. So it's like fucking 8 o'clock at night, walking the convention center. We go there. They're like, they go home, man. So then we go to Coles and we come back on the street. We see him. And like in the meantime, he's messaged me back. He's like, just tell me his last name and we'll pick it up in the morning. I was like, bro, you've been here since Thursday.
Fucking hell.
It's the most Jackson thing to do, right? So that was the first like spot fire we had to pull out.
Yeah.
And then JT lands and he's like, can we catch up? I was like, bro, like I've got to be up at fucking early. I'm like, come to my place and we'll do a check-in. Mm-hmm. So he was at my place, bro, at like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so took him for some rounds in the balcony. Again, like real happy with what was going on. So then, we were ready to go. So then on Saturday, Saturday was good. Like the venue's great. The stage was really small though.
Okay.
I feel like Sydney was the best combination of like seating and lighting, stage and stuff. Melbourne was good too. So I was a little bit nervous about that because it was just like a different kind of, it was like a shorter eye walk for the girls. The stage was small. So I was like, what's it going to look like when there's lots of competitors on the stage?
Yep.
Just all of that stuff. Like it was kind of, I was a little bit concerned about it, but it didn't have an issue. Like they ran a pretty good show and a pretty tight ship. So yeah, she came out really good for bikini. So we won the first category, which for some reason I was like, didn't think they'd give it to her.
Yep.
Because I just had this idea that
she's going to win swimsuit. She can't win anything else.
she was, because she'd done so well in the state shows, I had this feeling that they were going to just not look at her.
Yeah.
So I was real surprised. I reckon I yelled out the loudest, like, yes, like in the whole thing. Like, it was so loud. So yeah, she won that, which was cool. And then the under 25, she came second, which was fine because the person who came first had already kind of pipped her at a state show, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and then there was like I can't remember what category it was. She won she came first and then she came fourth. But like, bro, this lineup was insane, bro. Yeah. I couldn't believe how many people were in it. Yeah. There were like 15 girls.
Shit.
Yeah. It was actually really cool. The top 5 was like, fucking good quality. Yep. So then she went into the overall. I was like, you already, someone from a category's already taken it. Like, you've already placed outside of the first. Like, you're not getting that. Which was totally fine. Like, we didn't give a fuck. Like, we were just like, this is just stage time. And I just needed to see, like, all right, we've got the best ones in the country. What do we need to do to fill the gaps? Yeah. Bigger shoulders, bigger back, more projection in your glutes. Yep. Everything else is the same. We were the most conditioned people up there. Yep. So I was like, for me, I'm absolutely happy. Yep. Can't complain. But then there was just like a really big gap in the middle of the day, man. We were sitting around for 3.5 hours. Yeah. Yeah, they were running late. And then there was a big gap because they had like 2 divisions before. So it was just hard to like keep her like dialed in, keep her, kind of focused and stuff. So I just let her do whatever the fuck she wanted for a little bit. And then I was like, all right, we need to go. Like I found this like the top level of the convention center. The place is fucking huge, by the way. Yeah. It's got like 1 million different rooms and levels. So I found this top level and from the bottom you couldn't get up there, but from the elevator you could. Yep. So then we just had this like outside area. Mad. And it was like perfectly lit. And I found like this backdrop and the photos were mad. So then I turned into a fucking photographer for like an hour, taking photos of her and her friend. And, like just like, I'm like, all right, so we need to start doing some runs and, whatever. So that was cool. And then, when she went out for swimsuit, I was like, we were ready. Cause like I'd kind of landed the whole day. So the food, the hydration and everything was going to be peaked in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So again, like I kind of ran this hydration kind of pump up matrix thing and nailed it for that time. And then we pumped up so much. Like at the end of New South Wales, like the last category, I was just like, just fucking send it on the pump up. Like go to you almost can't pose anymore. Yep. Because the girls pose are a little bit different than the boys. Like the boys, they have to hang their arms over their heads for periods of time. So, and they got to hold their arms up like that. So if you go too hard in the pump up, like it can affect how they sit in that position. Where the girls, they got their hands on their hips. Yep. So I was like, fucking get after it with your back and your delts. Like just go for it. So so once she had the suit on and then we're pumping up, I was like, I was sussing the competition all day. But I was just like, someone's going to come and fucking, I haven't seen them. And just
be a monster.
Yeah. and just push her as hard as possible. So I wanted to have that mindset because I didn't want to get complacent. So then but she walked out like beginners, just first place, under 25's first place, and then the opens.
Yeah.
She won first place as well. So then I'm like, surely, like even then, so I started getting a bit nervous because the whole day I was like, I know she's got the potential to win the pro card, but I just can't. I have to prepare myself for, because life, business, being a fucking grown up. Like how many times have good things happened to us, and then quickly, on a knife's edge. So I was like, just prepare yourself for the pendulum.
Yeah.
We've got.
Because she's going to need you as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even like between each category, I don't know for her if like it was just the emotion of like the whole season, but she was getting really emotional about the winning and the result, and we would have to go straight back out there. So I was just like, how do I get her? How do I bring her down? And that, so I just pulled her aside, and I'm just like, take a couple deep breaths, feel into your belly. I'm like, just breathe out, close your eyes, and I'm like, we've still got a job to do.
Yep.
And I had to do that basically after every single one. So I'm running around, I'm making sure she's kind of head in the game. And then, but even then, I was starting to like, my hands were starting to shake a little bit, and I was like, starting to breathe fucking heavily. And I'm like, fuck, if she's won the 3 categories out of the 5, like, how the fuck can they? How can this? But I'm like, I said to Steph, I'm like, I was texting her, I'm like, this is one more to go.
Yeah.
And then when they brought them out, Jackson was like, "You got this, bro."
Yeah.
And I was like, let's just fucking wait. Yeah. So then they fucking called her name. I can't even. I was like trying not to get emotional about it because I was like, I'm gonna have to go up there. There's gonna be photos. I want to cry.
Yeah.
I don't want to get emotional. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's for her. Just have to sit there and just support her. But man, there's such a nice feeling. Hey, like a cultivation of 2.5, 3 years of just working together.
Yeah.
To see that happen, it was really cool. And then for me, I'm like, it's a big achievement as a coach. Like I want to be in that room at that level. I want to be coaching at the pro ranks with high caliber, with athletes at that caliber. And I've got some with the potential to do it now.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, I fucking finally got there,
It's hilarious. So when they announced, Jess cried. So this is hilarious, right? So we're in this house that's like getting emptied. So Maddie's moved. There's no fucking furniture. Her brother's kept a couch that's like 2 of these put together. There's me, Matt, and her brother who's also like 100 kegs. And the 2 girls like crowded around this fucking laptop in this lounge room trying to watch what's going on. As soon as they said Gemma's name, Jess is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm okay. Like, this is awesome. And then you came out and a smile on your face. I was like, fuck, now I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
It's wild. It was really, really cool to like all of us be just
crammed
around this lap. Like I couldn't tell you how good she looked because
Yeah.
it was on this tiny laptop screen and we had to run it at fucking 720 because the internet was shared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just, to be able to watch it and be with the
I had
team
no
that
idea
wasn't
you guys
there
were watching
as well
it.
was fucking mad.
I had no idea because I was going to wait and not say it because I was updating on the day.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't want to, I was going to leave it and then just put like, so we came, we saw, we conquered type deal.
Yeah.
And then like when I heard you guys were watching and Jess sent me a message straight away, I was like, fuck, I couldn't even like I couldn't hold my phone. It was shaking so much. And then we had to go up on stage and I was like, fuck, just like don't shit the bed. Like make sure you make sure you talk like a normal fucking human. So I was thankfully that I didn't have to talk too much.
Yeah.
Michael just asked me some questions about her peak or something, and I was like, I can do that because if I had to talk about her feelings, I would have got I would have got a bit emotional. So then we're fucking whatever, and I was like in my head I was like I knew she had to do the pro show straight away.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, like we still have a job to do.
Yep.
Just had to keep saying that to her. I'm like, I need you to just everything pictures, whatever. And I'm like, cool, one more time.
Yeah.
One more time. And I'm like, in this one, I said to her, I'm like, this one doesn't like matter.
Yeah, it's just fun.
I'm like, you go out there and you fucking have a great time. And I'm like, because this is the last chance we get to do this for however long, because we don't know when we're going to get back up there next. So yeah, I was like, fucking high five, fucking get the fuck out there and just, put on a good show. So then what they were doing through the day, which I thought was pretty cool, was they were inviting like the high caliber athletes in the divisions to compete in the pro show to bring the groups up because the Fed's new. So like there's not as many pro athletes. So I thought that was cool. It was like, hey, you're kind of there so you can jump up there.
Yeah.
And then if you place top 3, you would get your pro card.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I still felt was kind of fair.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them, the groups were small, so, but I was like, you got
to build a pro team somehow, right?
Absolutely. And you're not going to do it quickly with 2 shows a year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the girl that came second, like you can tell in the overall, like just where they put them.
Yeah.
So the one that competed in the pro show with Jem and the other lady, like she had a
So there was
good
one
physique.
other pro?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I'm up and like, she was a bit, because like even backstage, I'm like, where the fuck did you come from? Cause she was like back there and she was like tall and she, like, cause there's a look for the swimsuit. I know it now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the fuck did you come from? I'm like, I was like, she was in pretty good condition and whatever. And I was like, to even me, I'm like the pendulum, like, fuck. Like, this one's coming to take it all, which is bodybuilding, I guess. And then, like when they're up there, I'm like, fucking, now they made them work, bro. Like she was up there for the pro show for ages. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like on the chair and I'm moving around and shit. Jackson's like, she's got this, bro. He's like, you can't see it. He's like, I can see it. He's like, she's got this. And then, they fucking called her name again.
That's wild.
And the coolest part of the day, I think the coolest part of the day for me, when we saw the pro show, the first one, like they get a belt.
Yeah.
And Jem was like, they get a belt. That's so fucking cool. And then I just looked at her and I said, you're going to get a belt.
Yeah.
I said, you'll get a belt. And then she goes, oh, yeah, one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then
that day,
it happened. Sick. And then that's when we went on stage. I was like, I fucking told you were going to get that belt.
Yeah.
So that was fucking cool, man.
Yeah. Mad. So I didn't realize that they would go back out. So I left.
Yeah.
Went and had a shower. Came downstairs, pick up my phone, opened my phone to pro show winner. That's why the message I sent you was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I was in the shower for 10 minutes.
Unbelievable.
You've won a pro show. What the fuck?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's how the pro-ams work.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. That was awesome, man. So then, and for me, I was like, fuck, this is only half of the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. And once we left, I went and watched the Olympia.
Yeah.
It's like the guy that, it's like when Homer went fishing after he had all he could eat. It's like more bodybuilding. So, Jackson and I were watching the bodybuilding when we got back. And then,